Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions for today. We are talking Saturday, August 2nd. Happy Saturday, everybody. The Dong Report is back in your life. I'm going to have 8 total players on Dong Watch for today. Of course, going to start with my 3 favorites, but then give you guys everybody. So if you want to take the favorites, you want to spray the board, you can do whatever you want, and I'm not your mom. Would appreciate it if you could watch the entire video. I will say, not going to have a video tomorrow, traveling out of town for a wedding, but we'll be right back Monday, so just going to miss one day. And I'll still send out dongs to my Tails account and then on social media as well, so you'll still be able to tail. Before we get into today, to do a recap from yesterday, was a decent day overall. We were able to get Warming Bernabel to hit a home run. We were able to get Andrew Vaughn to hit a home run. We profited 0.66 units, so basically up a little bit over a half unit. You know, really frustrating with the 2 Phillies guys. Especially Bryce, can just never get him right. And then he ended up getting ejected in that game. Granted, it was at the end of the game. I don't think he even got an at-bat after that. Tovar hit the crap out of the baseball. None of them cleared a fence. I think he hit one against the wall twice. That was brutal. Robert didn't do anything, and then Machado didn't come through either. But we'll take a day in the profit. On the year, up 1.82 units. Obviously, that is not incredible, but we will take it. It's also not horrible. Up over 1% ROI as well. You know, with the way the season has gone, it's just nice to be in the green. And we've had more success as we started to spray the board, which was about at the end of June. The last week, 10 days of June since then. It's been a lot better. Hopefully, we can continue that today. Another day in which I don't totally love the Dong slate. Obviously, Suter Health Park is fantastic. Coors Field is fantastic. Steinbrenner Field is fantastic. And then this was the day, the Bristol Motor Speedway. So I accidentally said it was on Thursday. Scared some people that had tickets. My apologies. Decent weather and decent stadium for home runs. I don't have a play in this one, but it's a decent stadium for home runs. And then everything else, you know, the bank is in the green. And then everything else, a lot of neutral. I have a play in one of these neutral games. And then the red ones I mostly stayed away from. So not an amazing Dong slate from a weather perspective. Mostly agreement for Ballpark Pal. They hate they hate the Cubs game, Wrigley Field. Weather Edge agrees with that. Rockies they like, which is good. Nats is a little bit of a disagreement. Weather Edge likes the Nats while Ballpark Pal does not. They both like the Phillies. And then you can kind of go down from there. But again, I'll start with my 3 favorites. And actually, I have a couple plays in this athletics game, so I'm just going to give you them all at once. The 2 of my 3 favorites are Brent Rooker and Shea Langoliers, aka Shea Bangoliers. I like both of them to hit a home run. I also like my guy Kurtz to hit a home run as well. And I have Ketel Marte to hit a home run as well. So I have 4 players to hit a home run in this game. So obviously, I am playing it pretty heavily. Kurtz is best offered at plus 310 at Bet365. Ballpark Pal really likes that one. They have him as a positive EV play. Rooker, they have as a slightly positive EV play, which you can get at plus 320, both at Bet365 and FanDuel, so no issues with odds there. Ketel Marte is plus 350 at Bet365, and then Bangoliers is plus 320 at FanDuel. So I'll start with the athletics guys first. And the biggest thing here is Zach Gallen is pitching for the Diamondbacks, and he's been among the worst home run pitchers in all of baseball. And the tough part of that for him is the home stadium that Gallen plays at is a pitcher-friendly park. It's a Chase Field in Arizona. It's in a dome, so it's not impacted by weather, or it's a retractable roof, but it's got the really, really wide outfield. So balls need to be crushed to be home runs. He's got really, really bad numbers. Home run numbers across the board. Against righties, it's slightly worse. Home run every 18 at-bats against righties. Barrel rate is high. Granted, the K rate is not terrible. Fly ball rate is kind of high. The hard hit rate is kind of high. And then against lefties, the percentage numbers go down, but as does the K rate, and the Sierra goes up. So righty, lefty, they can both get it against Zach Gallen. His last 5 starts have not been terrible. Home run every 29 at-bats. The K rate is a little bit up. The barrel rate is average, but the hard hit rate is high. The line drive rate is high. Fly ball rate is average. It's still been really bad against righties, as you can see. But again, the percentages go up, as does the strikeout rate. Against lefties, strikeout rate goes down, percentages are kind of in the middle. So even though he's been better over the last 5 weeks, he's still not anybody that I'm scared of. And the scariest one is Kurtz, which is why he didn't make my favorite, because since he has had that 4 home run day, he hasn't had much. 5 hard hits, 1 barrel over the last 7 days. He did get a hold of one yesterday that was hit pretty far, but the 2 best players on the Athletics are Rooker and Bangaliers. They both have 10 hard hits and 2 barrels over the last 7 days. That's pretty impressive. I like the fly ball rate for both of them, especially Bangaliers, who's only hitting a ground ball less than 30% of the time. That's really, really impressive. But Rooker has a really good pull rate. And Bangaliers has been on fire. You see he's hit 4 home runs over the last 7 days, 2 for Rooker. So they've both been fine. And the pitch mix is really good for both of them as well. As you can see, extreme advantage for Rooker. Extreme advantage for Rooker. Not as much for Bangaliers, but he also doesn't have as much of a sample size as Rooker, so it's more of a recent thing for Shea Bangaliers. But you look at the pitches that gets hit hard for Gallen, it lines up pretty well for these 2 guys, so these 2 players. And then Kurtz is more so just backing him at home, where he had that 4 home run game he had was away, but you take that out, a lot of his damage has been done at home, and it's still a good advantage for him. So I like rocking with Kurtz. Obviously, Ball Prop Pal really likes it as well. As for Ketel Marte, he hasn't hit a home run recently, but you look at just the total number of hard hits in the last 7 days. Guess who is tied with the 3rd most? Ketel Marte is one of 5 batters with 15 or more hard hits over the last 7 days. That's really, really impressive. Now, he's hitting way too many ground balls, and that launch angle is too low. But he's been a really good home run hitter. Last year, he was fantastic. For most of this year, he's been fantastic. So I'm not necessarily scared off of the fact that he hasn't been able to get any lift recently. And he's got a pretty decent matchup. JT Ginn is pitching for the Athletics. And you look at him on the year, he has a lot of home run every 18 at-bats. You look at him over against lefties specifically, which since he's a righty, Ketel Marte will be batting lefty against him. Horrible numbers across the board. I mean, low K rate, high barrel rate, high hard hit rate is really bad. Now, the fly ball rate is low. That's really the only redeeming quality. The line drive rate is decent, but home run every 13 at-bats to lefties is terrible. So the fact that Ketel Marte hasn't been able to get any lift recently, I'm okay with backing him today because he's got a really good matchup to do so. So those are 4 players. Again, the 2 favorites were Rooker and Bangaliers, Shea Langoliers. But those are 4 plays for you guys to start. And then my 3rd of the 3 favorites, those of you that don't like players that have recently hit home runs aren't going to like William Contreras. He has just been so good, and we're getting such good odds on him that I'm comfortable taking him once again today. His price is at plus 625 at Bet365, and what this guy has been doing to the baseball recently is absurd. So yesterday, he had 5 hard hits yesterday. 5. Yes, he did hit a home run, but 5 hard hits is very, very, very impressive. And you look into those, and we see 104 miles an hour off the bat. We see 104 miles an hour off the bat. We see 103. We see 102. And we see 101. And we see 101. Now, obviously, not all of those were hit in the air. Some of them were. That's 5 hits above 100 miles an hour for William Contreras. That's very, very good. And you look at him. It was 6 hard hits yesterday, 5 above 100 miles an hour. But you look at him recently. So yesterday, 6 hard hits. The last game he played prior to that, the 30th, 4 hard hits, 2 barrels. Before that, 3 hard hits, 1 barrel, 2 hard hits. Okay, then he had none. Then 2 hard hits, 2, 3. Okay, none, it's fine, 3. He's been fantastic. You look at who leads the MLB in hard hits over the last 7 days. Unsurprisingly, William Contreras has 17. He's got 4 barrels over the last 7 days as well, which once this loads is a very impressive number. And the pitcher they're going up against is not good. Jake Irvin is pitching for the Nationals. Now, I will admit Irvin's worse against lefties, but you look at his numbers on the year, not good. I mean, the K rate is low. The barrel rate is high. The hard hit rate is high. Line drive plus fly ball rate, it's not super high. It's also not super low. You look at it against righties, his numbers do admittedly look a little bit better, but they're still not really anything that I'm scared off of by any means, especially for somebody that's been hitting as well as William Contreras. Of course, this decides to freeze out on me, but Yeah, so 4 barrels over the last week, one of 17 batters, which, I mean, 17 obviously is a decently high number, but 17 hard hits is very, very, very impressive. So that's why I went with Contreras over Vaughn, who also hit a home run yesterday, is also on fire. But I just can't shy away from the 6 hard hits, especially at the plus 625 price, which is crazy. The weather for this one, if you remember, Ballpark Pal had it as slightly negative, whereas Weather Edge had it as a positive game. I tend to lean more with Ballpark Pal, actually. The temperature in the 80s is not terrible. It's also not super hot. And the wind is slightly blowing in. The wind really won't impact anything. So the weather is more so neutral than anything. But it's just recent form, a good pitching matchup, as you can see, plus 10, extreme advantage for Contreras. And it's plus EV on Ballpark Pal as well. They have the true odds on this at plus 510. We're getting 625 at Bet365. That is my third of my 3 favorites. We talked about Kurtz. Next up, we're going with Kerry Carpenter to hit a home run. Another good price I like on him at plus 475 at Fanatics. Would also take it at plus 450 at Bet365. As you can see, another positive EV play here on Ballpark Pal, both from Fanatics, which is obviously the highest EV, but 365 at 450 as well. This is a good weather game no matter how you slice it. Plus 12 home run index for Ballpark Pal, and it was also high on Weather Edge, plus 16.7. Now the scary part here is Zach Wheeler is pitching for the Phillies. Wheeler is very, 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 very good. That said, he hasn't been amazing in his last couple starts, and he's always struggled more against lefties than he has against righties. So you look at him over his last 5 starts, home run every 23 at-bats to lefties. Like, that is not anybody to be completely scared of. And the biggest thing for him is he throws a lot of pitches, but he loves to throw the four-seamer. And if he doesn't fool the batter, that four-seamer can get tagged. And you know who has really, really good numbers against the four-seam fastball from right-handed pitching? That would be Mr. Kerry Carpenter. He's got 329 ISO is very good. 15% barrel rate is very good. 50% hard hit, 50% fly ball rate. Those numbers are very, very good. Now you look at Kerry, he obviously missed a ton of time, and he's only been back for a couple games. He didn't play yesterday because it was against a left-handed pitcher. If we look at the games he has been back, 3 hard hits, 1 barrel, 2 hard hits, 1 barrel, and then yesterday he came in and pinch hit, so that one you can ignore. He's been good since he has come back. Obviously, Zach Wheeler is awesome, so that's why you see strong advantage for Wheeler. But it's really just what he does to the four-seam fastball. That's the biggest advantage for Kerry Carpenter. They haven't seen each other, so no issues there. Good or bad, I should say. But it's really just backing a good price at plus 475. A matchup that you can see working out. You know, Wheeler, again, hasn't been amazing. Gave up 2 home runs to the Padres. That was against a lefty. Gave up a home run to Boston. That was hit by a lefty. So he can get hit up by lefties. And yeah, so I think it's solid at the price. Next up, Ezequiel Tovar. Now, he is one where I don't know how he didn't hit a home run yesterday. Because, I wanted to look at yesterday. Because similar to Contreras, very, very, very impressive day at the plate for Ezequiel Tovar. You see he had 4 hard hits. That's impressive. And you look into those hard hits, double, 391 feet. Home run in 23 out of 30 stadiums. Double, 107 miles per hour off the bat. Double, 107 miles per hour off the bat. That's 3 doubles that were all 107 miles per hour off the bat. And then his other one was another double, traveled 399 feet, 99.5 miles per hour off the bat. Now, Coors Field has a large outfield, so you're going to see situations where batters have these long doubles or long flyouts, but it's fantastic hitting weather. It's in the 80s. Coors always has good weather. Ballpark Pal likes it. Weather Edge likes it. And the scariest part here, Paul Skeens is awesome. So this is not a play because I have anything good to say about the batter versus pitcher matchup. This is just looking at a batter that had a very, very, very good day at the plate. And maybe he gets one off of Skeens. Maybe he gets one off the bullpen. But plus 630 at Coors Field for a batter as hot as Tovar is a good price. You look at how Rockies hitters have been over the last week. 11 hard hits and 5 barrels is very good over a 7-day span. That is very good. fly ball rate above 40%, pull rate above 40%. Everything looks good. And then 0 home runs, that's just not something that is going to sustain with the way that he's been barreling the ball up. Unlike Freeman, who has a lot of hard hits, Tovar's hitting a ground ball like 30% of the time. So yeah, Skeens is obviously horrifying, but it's at Coors Field. The batter is red hot, and we're getting plus 630. So I think that it's worth a play. Slightly positive EV according to Ballpark Pal. I understand people being scared away of this one. Obviously, that's why I didn't make one of my favorites. Between Kerry Carpenter and Tovar, we're definitely playing batters against good pitchers, but it's all about the price, and it's a little bit more than just the batter versus pitcher, even though obviously that is important. So that's one. And then we already talked about Ketel Marte. So my last play, my 8th one, is Yandy Diaz. We're taking him to hit a home run. Another decent price we're getting on him, plus 475 at Bet365. Another slightly positive EV play according to Ballpark Pal. Now Blake Snell is pitching for the Dodgers. Obviously, Blake Snell is very good. This is his first start since April, the beginning of April. So it's been 4 months since we have seen Blake Snell pitch in the major leagues. Maybe he pitches well, maybe he doesn't. He's not going to pitch for long. And Yandy Diaz has really good numbers against left-handed pitching. You look at him on the year, ISO rate 245 against lefties. You look at him over the last 30 days, ISO rate of 526 against lefties. That is very good. His barrel rate in this stretch, 17%. On the year, 11.5% against lefties. Now, he also hits too many ground balls, so that is the one concern. But you look at him recently, 10 hard hits is impressive over a 7-day span. Obviously, one barrel, you're hoping for more than that. Obviously, the ground ball rate is horrifying. That's not what you look for at all. But it's a really good home run situation at Steinbrenner Field, 29% home run index. It's hot, winds blowing just directly out. Now, it's better, I will admit, better for lefty pull hitters at Steinbrenner Field with the short right field porch, but it's still fine for a righty. So I like Yandy versus Blake Snell. I like Yandy, who had a decent day at the plate yesterday as well. You look at him specifically yesterday. I believe Kershaw pitched yesterday, if I remember correctly. So he saw another lefty yesterday. But he had a decent day at the plate. Granted, the Rays themselves got shut out, but he had 2 hard hits. You look into those hard hits, we see 108 miles an hour off the bat, and we see 101. And it was a flyout. 101.9, 40-degree launch angle. That's like 5 degrees lower. That's a home run. So it was nice to see him hit one in the air. And one of them wasn't even against the lefty as well. So I do think kind of similar to the other plays, it's not somebody that would make a favorite, but Yandy at home at plus 475 against a lefty is pretty good pricing. And that's all we got for today. I appreciate everybody for watching. Real quick, we'll do a recap and then we'll get on out of here. This is my Tails account. I definitely played the first game heavily, the D-backs versus A's, but we went with Kurtz, we went with Langoliers, Rooker, and Ketel Marte. Remember, 2 of my 3 favorites were these 2, Bangoliers and Brent Rooker. And then I took Ezequiel Tovar, Yandy Diaz, Kerry Carpenter. Good prices, admittedly against good pitchers on those 3. They're all kind of similar. Good weather situations as well. And then Contreras, just with the way he's been hitting at the price against a bad pitcher, it just was too good for me to pass up. Contreras was the 3rd of my 3 favorites. And that's all we got. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure to check out my Tails account. Check out Ballpark Pal. Link to all those in the description of the video. Make sure to bet responsibly and have a good one.